Welcome to the Collective Minds podcast.
Never fucking had it.
Shut. No way.
Never fucking
No
had it.
way.
Like, Austin, you trying to tell something else right now?
As humans, everybody lives in the same reality. We could all be in the same room together, but we perceive it differently.
All that experience, all that emotions, all the things that happen in that one life is boiled down to what we call instinct. And that's the only thing we can bring over to the next level.
You won't behave, you'll be canceled.
Coincidence? Coincidence? Coincidence. There cannot be three. Alright, hello and welcome everyone back to the Collective Minds podcast. I've made videos on this before. Disgusting. So, Canada's got something going on in the water up there. Evil people going on. And they hit the angle of it's healthcare. Natural healthcare. Just like mutilating the genitals of everyone but children. Mental health disorders. You don't tell, I've said it many times, you don't tell the schizophrenic that the voices in their head or the things they're seeing are real. Bad things happen. So, I believe the last one was, it's the CARE. So this one's Canada considers euthanasia for severely ill newborns. Well, it started with adults, assisted suicide. And then the last video I did about it was for children in general, and I think it was 14, 16, somewhere in there was the age of when it could happen. Well, they're adults now. They know what's best for them. If they're just so sad because they're poor, let them get assisted suicide. Because they're having a bad day. Let them make those decisions. I mean, remember, the suicide rates went up drastically during COVID. And I don't think they've gotten much better. Then you got governments implementing things like this. This is supposed to be a first world country. It's absolutely disgusting. So, Canada is facing a renewed controversy over its expanding euthanasia laws. It's crazy that we use that word for people. That's a word you use for dogs that have attacked people or killed other people's pets. Euthanasia. Following a proposal from the Quebec College of Physicians to permit euthanasia for severely ill newborn babies. The suggestion, put forward by the medical regulatory body, would allow parents to request euthanasia for infants suffering from extreme pain who have no prospect of survival due to serious congenital conditions or multiple disabling syndromes. While Canadian law already permits families to withdraw life-sustaining treatment in such cases, the new proposal would actively allow medical intervention to hasten death. I get their argument on this, but I do not believe that these government officials are doing this in any other way than child sacrifice. It's a ritual. That's what this is. Just like how in the black community, abortions are the number one killer, right? Of black men and women or children, abortion. And it is tons. It is a ritual. And it is just propagandized throughout. But this should not be normalized. Now, I understand, like, pulling the plug on someone in a car accident and they're going to be a vegetable their entire lives. And that's what they said they wanted to do. Or, like, there's really no other option, right? If they are brain dead and that's going to be it, it makes sense to not sit there and have them hooked up to technology keeping their body alive. This is different. They already have those options. This is going, your baby did not, and this is where it's going to go. I'll say it. Your baby didn't come out the gender you wanted. Didn't come out eye color you wanted. Came out with a little deformed defect, just a little one. Weird birthmark, or just because you decided, you know, let's blur the lines there. This is where it's actually going. Late-term abortions. My body, my choice. Isn't it? These people want to give you the option to kill your baby after it's been born because it wasn't what you thought it was going to be. It's exactly what this is. So, Canada legalized medical assistance in dying, MAiD, in 2016, originally limited to adults suffering from terminal illnesses. Since then, eligibility has widened significantly. Of course it did. Patients no longer need to be terminally ill. So why do we have it then? Just get rid of it. If anyone can just do it, I mean, why even? But is it a crime, right, though, if they attempt to kill themselves? Not if your doctor does it. Makes a bunch of you gotta give them money. That's what it is. And by 2027, people with mental illnesses will also qualify. Right. So now, back to what I said originally. Adults with mental illnesses. So it doesn't say adults, it says people. Yeah. Patients. Just says patients. So, with these blurring the age laws, because they're going, oh, we really need to implement this for children because they also suffer. Now we need to do it for babies. Oh, here in the next year, you're going to be able to do it if you have a mental illness. Okay? By 2027. It says Parliament has also recommended extending access to mature minors. Ah, there we go. That's the last video. So, mature minors, I don't even know. I don't know if it's 13, 15, not sure what they recommend. I can't recall, but it's stupid. It doesn't matter if they're 17 and a half. No 18-year-old should be able to go in anywhere and have someone help them kill themselves. It's absolutely disgusting. It says today, MAiD accounts for approximately 1 in every 20 deaths in Canada, a rate that far exceeds that of countries with similar legislation. So it's not just... There is other legislation in other countries like this. It is 1 out of every 20 in Canada because it's propagandized. Because they're making their people suffer so bad that they go, the only way out of this is to kill yourself. Nearly 2/3 of recipients are cancer patients, but other cases include those experiencing chronic pain, disability, or mental health struggles. And they do this because they weaponize the healthcare. You want to get helped for your chronic pain, disability, or mental health struggles, you gotta wait 6 months to 2 years. And when they do see you, they only, you got a few minutes of their time and then off on your way. It's horrible what's going on up there. Growing discomfort in the medical profession. That's crazy because, medical professions just a couple of years ago had plenty of reasons to be discomforted, but didn't seem to be discomforted. The proposal to allow euthanasia for infants has prompted ethical questions. There should be outrage, particularly around consent and the value of vulnerable lives. Exactly. Critical fear that expanding the law further risks devaluing people who might otherwise be supported to live. Yep, they're just going to kill them all. They're not going to go, got a 30% chance. Let's just give them a chance. They're going to go kill the baby. That's what they're going to do. In one such case, a woman with chemical sensitivity and a history of trauma requested MAiD largely because she could not access suitable accommodation. Just said it. Another man, unemployed and socially isolated, was euthanized after a health professional reportedly overstepped professional boundaries by facilitating his travel to the euthanasia appointment. This doctor drove his ass to a kill facility and had him murdered because he didn't have a job and socially isolated, didn't have a lot of friends. Okay, even if he had a job, there's still a good chance he wouldn't have a lot of friends. It's called being an adult. You're working on yourself, and then you're working on getting a family, and then you're working on your family, and you're working on your family's future. It's not... Real grown adults aren't running around with 50 different friends. It's just not happening. Unless they still act like children. Going to giant social events, parties, everything, every weekend. Ontario's chief coroner noted in a 2024 report that some MAiD cases were linked to unmet social needs rather than physical pain. These findings have raised concerns that societal failures may be driving people towards ending their lives prematurely. Yeah. Slippery slope of assisted suicide. This new development only adds fuel to the slippery slope argument often made against legalizing assisted suicide and euthanasia. Assisted suicide proponents argued that assisted suicide laws can be tightly controlled and restricted to those who are terminally ill adults. Absolutely. Absolutely. If it exists at all. However, examples of countries where it has been legalized, such as Canada and the Netherlands, demonstrate that once you open the door to assisted suicide, those restrictions gradually erode over time. And it's not over time. This is quickly. I've been talking about this, I think, for just a couple years. Canada remains one of a small number of countries where euthanasia is legal. If the proposal to include infants proceeds, it would mark one of the most significant and controversial expansions to date. I would say the end of any sort of decent future for, I guess, the country of Canada. Demons. Ritualistic having demons. That's what we're seeing here. Absolutely disgusting. See, it's one thing to go adults can kill themselves for any reason at any time, and we'll just help that way, you know, when they shoot themselves, the bullet doesn't fly through their head and hit their next door neighbor. That's one thing. But to go, oh, well, we can't just do adults. We have to do, you know, mature children. And now we're going, let's just do it to babies too. Absolutely disgusting. Let me know, please, what you think about this down in the comments, or if you have any more information about this. Love to hear your guys' opinion. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and share with your friends. We'll catch you on the next one.